So actually, in terms of getting all the permits, going through the process, getting permission. Well, I described briefly what the protocol was. What. Uh, so I described the actual mechanics of the protocol. That it was to give a number of different DMT doses to experienced volunteers, draw a lot of blood, and give them a questionnaire, and then just kind of take it from there. So I had to go through a number of boards and regulatory agencies to actually begin the process. The first couple of hurdles were just local. They were at the university level or at the state level. And there were a couple of committees at the university level. One of them looked at the scientific merit of the study. And at the time, I was the chairman of that committee. So that was not too hard to get through. I mean, it was a pretty, it was a very straightforward psychopharmacology study. So in terms of the questions I was asking from a scientific point of view, they were really kind of simple. You give a drug and you measure responses. I mean, that's kind of standard operating procedure. But obviously the ethics questions, the safety questions, those sort of things were the ones that were more pertinent. It was a Schedule 1 drug, and Schedule 1 drugs, are ones which are highly abusable. They cannot be given safely, even under medical, supervision, and they don't have any known utility from the medical point of view. So I had to go through what's called the Institutional Review Board of the university, which is responsible for informed consent documents and whether we're going to be giving the volunteers the appropriate amount of safeguards, for their safety. And so they had some questions, but I was quite lucky at the time that the chairman of the Institutional Review Board was a libertarian pretty much, and a psychiatrist. And a number of the members of the committee had some questions. But I think that Dr. Frank was really quite keen on seeing the study go through. He came up to me one day and he commented, he made the point that they weren't really supposed to be playing God. If it was a reasonable study, and we took care of the informed consent issues, that he wanted to make certain it went through. He thought these drugs were interesting, and he didn't want to just from some kind of moral or political point of view keep it from happening. So he treated it the same way he treated any other study. If you let people know what to expect, if you have if you have some procedures in place to protect people or to help them if they get into a tight spot, he felt that was just the same thing as giving a cardiovascular drug or an anti-diabetic drug or any kind of drug. Just specify what kind of side effects one might expect, and be able to respond to them appropriately.